what does a healthy relationship look like?
Yeah,
Sounds like an easy question, but it's not.
yeah, it actually is. The key element is that a healthy relationship is one that's sustainable. Um, and the way you have a sustainable relationship is you address the relationships in the relation. You address the issues in the relationship that are unsustainable. Real simple. The relationship has to be sustainable, and the way you make it sustainable is addressing the issues that are unsustainable.
Okay. So what I was going to do was I was going to say how to identify the toxicity, how to vet it to make sure before you commit to them, you know what you're getting into. What he said was you mentioned making sure it's sustainable. One way of doing that is making sure there's enough love and grace in the relationship for you to grow and for them to grow. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we're all trying to figure this life out and none of us know. And when you meet somebody, you don't know their secrets. Like, would you marry you if you knew all your secrets? Probably not. But you're meeting this stranger and you want them to know what's in your head. So at what point do you start doing your real self? That's why people say you meet their representative. At what point are you saying how you really feel? Because that's how you get to the growth part of the relationship. Me and my wife talked about this because we had a growth moment during quarantine. We locked up, can't go nowhere. She got on the quarantine sweats and the exam ponytail like she got finals, not dressing up, you know what I'm saying? And we was having disagreements. And one time I was like, yo, I feel like my wife was just on me. I'm like, why are you always on me about clean? I think it was about cleaning. And she said, oh, it's funny you act. I said, I'm telling you this because I don't want to shut down on you. I'm telling you I don't like this because I don't want to shut down on you. And she was like, that's funny. She said, I checked out on you a while ago because every time I brought it to you, you had an attitude. So I checked out. And I was like, well, why didn't you say that? She was like, I did, but you had an attitude. I was like, wow. But after that moment, we got to a point where, you know what? We need to start saying how we really feel. And I believe in a relationship. The closer you are and the more space you have to say how you really feel, the healthier relationship is. Because if you can't say your truth, we'll get to this later, you will eventually subcontract the things you're not getting. If you can't say your truth with the person that you're with and there's no love and grace to grow in a relationship, and every time you say something, they go from 0 to 1,000, that doesn't feel like love and there's no room to grow. So you have to make sure you're getting those things in the beginning and really say how you feel in order to grow with them. Also, I feel like you should play it all the way out. If you're with somebody and they're showing a trait that you don't like, play that thing all the way out in your head. Let's just say, ladies, you meet somebody who's super dope. You like the way he treats you. You hang out, but he's emotionally illiterate. Like, he's a good guy, got a good heart. He show up, keep his word. But when you try to talk about things that happen in your life, like you're growing spiritually, you're having these aha moments, and you try to share this and you realize he shuts down when you start talking about that stuff. At what point do you say, because you got to play it all the way out. Like, what does this look like committed? What does this look like married? What does it look like with kids? Because eventually you're going to have a life where you're going to outgrow them and you're going to feel like you're in prison because you're going to have all these great moments in your life. You're working on yourself. You're reading these self-help books. You're going to conferences. You're going to therapy. And every time you tell them, they're like, all right, what's for dinner? What does that look like in your life? And eventually you're going to be in prison and you're probably going to wind up subcontracting that by getting a work husband because he going to be living and making the same kind of money you making and he having good conversation with you. And you're like, wow, he gets me. Then you're in a whole nother situation. So for you, play it all the way out. All the habits, the traits that you see right now that you don't like, play that thing all the way out and see what that looks like. Also, I was going to say, who is helping you vet the people that you date? Who's helping you vet the people that you date? Is it your family? And is your family healthy enough to give you good advice on the people they like and they don't like? Is it your friends? Are your friends really happy? I'll talk about this a little later, but can your friends handle your upgrade? Can they handle you getting married before them and them standing at the altar next to you, knowing that they're going to be single and you're going to be married? Can they handle you being with somebody new? Who is the people in your life that can vet the person that you're going to marry into your life? Who helps you do that? Because eventually you have to partner with your partner versus your friends. And if your friends are giving you bad advice, you're going to stay single forever. If your friends are giving you terrible advice, you're going to stay single forever because they're going to tell you choose the guy with the money, but not going to tell you the guy chooses to bring his heart. So you got to have some form of community to help vet the people that you're dating. Some people that you really trust, grown folk who are in tune spiritually, and also who have a reference point for love. Because if they don't, they're just gonna tell you to leave them when it don't feel good. And that's not what love feels like. That's not what marriage is. Marriage is learning how to stay when it don't feel good. And I'm not talking about abuse. I'm talking about learning how to play hurt.